What's up, guys? It's Brian from wrapup. We got a brand new trading video coming right to you, but first hit that subscribe button, hit the notification bell, upvote, re-steam if you guys are on Steemit or DTube, and would love for you guys to subscribe to us there on Steemit and or DTube. Links are down below. I forgot to actually say what time it was and the date when I started making the video, so it's 9:13 a.m. Eastern Time, March 19, 2018. I guess we're doing things a little bit backwards today. We're going to be going over Bitcoin right here, right now. So, all right. So, when we left off the video last, I believe we were right here. We were right here where we were considering whether or not if this was the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, if this was the end of the fifth wave right here, or we had another leg to come down. And I was of the belief that we had another leg to come down, and we did. We came from, when we made the video, I think we were around this like 7,800 level, somewhere around there, or like 7,700, somewhere around there. We went down to this 73.33. Okay, so that's a perfectly fine fifth leg, and we're gonna keep that. This is the fifth leg. That makes perfect sense to us. There's nothing wrong with that at all. So let's go ahead and measure that real quick. Okay, let's try to see if that makes sense. Elliott wave basis, right? Imagine we didn't even have this, right? Imagine we didn't have this at all. Okay, let's just go ahead and take a look at it real quick. So if we go ahead and we take a look at it real quick. Let's look at this on a Fibonacci extension basis, right? Fibonacci extension basis. I'm going to try to get through this as quickly as possible so as not to bore you guys. So I do this right here, right? And we see that the third wave made it to 1.618. Classic, okay? Normally what we like to see is that the fifth wave then makes it to 2.618. But more times than not, it basically makes it to about halfway. And I've said this many times before in my videos, is that more times than not, it actually makes it to about halfway between the 1.618 and 2.618. Okay, and that's exactly what it did right here. So this is typical, straight up, perfect way to go about looking at it. Next way we can go about looking at it is if we go ahead and we do the retracement again. We do it from the top of the third to the bottom of the third, okay, to the top of the fourth. We go ahead and we take a look at what is the fifth wave. Where does it land? It lands directly on the 0.618. Again, just absolutely perfect as far as Fibonacci is concerned. Next, let's go ahead and take a look at this from a larger ABC basis, okay? A larger ABC basis. So, remember we have our A, B, right? And then this was the C coming down here. So basically we made it to the 0.786. Okay, we made it to 0.786. And yeah, okay, that makes sense for a third wave. We've brought all of these up before in the past. So makes a lot of sense that it ended where it did end. Okay, we were expecting or hoping that it would come a little bit lower, but obviously the trend has exhausted itself. Another thing we were taking a look at was specifically this this triangle. Okay, and let me go ahead and try to extend this out a little bit more. Okay. There's this downward descending triangle. Remember we were talking there's an A, there's a B, there's a C, there's a D, and there's an E. And we said it could possibly break out from here. I didn't feel that it was going to do it, but it did it. And hey, that's why you have to go ahead and be prepared for all of these things. Okay, you have to be prepared for everything. So, now everybody's like bugging and saying, oh my God, now we're starting off for a new motive wave up, and we're going to start making higher highs. Hey, that very well could be the case, but there's another way to count this whole thing, and I'd mentioned it for some time ago, a WXY XZ. Okay, and if that's the case, then we could possibly have another 5 legs coming down. All right, it's not necessarily my primary count, but it is something that you should expect. And you should prepare for. Okay, the next thing here is that we have, yes, the market has come up. It's come above the top of this descending triangle. You also can take a look at this as almost like a channel. Okay, you can look at this as a channel. All right, so we have this channel here. We had another channel inside here, and we also had a descending wedge. So we had a lot of reasons why this thing should break to the upside. Okay, even here, right? So let's go ahead. Let's just extend this a little bit more, and we see that it basically broke to the upside, you know, pretty swiftly. We also had large volume that came in too. Okay, and that's really what you need to see in order for things to really be moving up. All right, so you can go ahead and look at things a little bit more on a micro basis, and you can count this as, you know, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and you would say this thing has exhausted itself as far as a motive wave up is concerned, a small motive wave up is concerned. Then we'd be looking for some sort of ABC, and for it to basically make the wave 3, right? Because we would have 1, 2 somewhere around here, and then 3 coming up, and that's something we could look for on the bullish side, right? The bearish side, like I said, we could be looking for another 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 coming down, and you know, could be pretty probable. It's pretty probable. It's not super unlikely, but one thing I want to go ahead and I want to take a look at real quick and show you guys real quick is that unbalanced volume on a 1 hour basis. Excuse me, on a 1 hour basis, I mean, has basically been flat. Okay, we've had this huge run up here, but unbalanced volume, OBV, has been flat, and I would have liked to see this curling up a bit more. Okay, another thing I want to show here is, yeah, okay, right here on a fractal basis, right? I talk very little bit about fractals, but I do look for them all the time. I don't mention them as much because I don't think they have a ton of predictability, but I don't know. I think it's something pretty interesting to see, right? So we had this channel coming down here, right? And then we had this big run up, right? And then we had this sideways momentum, and then the market came back down again, right? What do we have here? We have a channel coming down right here. We have this big move up, and we have this sideways momentum, right? This is a small channel. We had a smaller move up. This is a larger channel. We had a larger move up. I don't know. Maybe there's something to read into it. Maybe not. But for me, yes, this does look very, you know, very motive wave up, right? But at the same time, we just stopped short right here. Okay, we do have a resistance level right here of about, let's call it 8,600, which comes from this top right here, which also got tested by this bottom right here, and also goes ahead and it's at the bottoms of these right here. So this is a serious resistance level, somewhere around this 8,600 level. You know, a little lower, a little higher, but somewhere around there makes a lot of sense as to why. You know, the market may start resisting right around those levels. Also, we have the 200-day moving average. It's sitting right up over here. So our 4-hour resistance line and 1-hour resistance line, the market went through it like you know, a hot knife through warm butter. But you do see the market did come back and tried to kind of get back down to the 4-hour resistance line right here, and it also did it right here too. Although there's a ton of now bullish sentiment now in the market, it didn't have any chance to really even come down, touch it at all. So the 1-hour resistance level, we're gonna actually go ahead. We're gonna well, let's just change it. Hold up a sec. Let's see here. Okay, so 1-hour resistance, we're turning to 1-hour support of about 8,055. Okay, 8,055. Okay, 4-hour. Okay. So this 1-hour resistance of 8,055, and then we have this, I'm sorry, 1-hour support. Sorry about that. 1 hour support of 8,055. We have a 4 hour resistance, right? Remember, we had a 4 hour resistance of 8,040. I'm going to leave the 4 hour resistance because remember, resistance then turns into support, and support turns into resistance, and yada yada yada. So I do believe that possibly we were to correct here, that possibly we're going to come down back down to these levels. Okay. Another thing too, if we want to go ahead and take a look at, let's just look at this from a Fibonacci basis. If this is the bottom of this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and we take it to the top, right? Well, we've already gone ahead and kind of retested well past the 2.236 basis, and the 0.382 basis is about 8,032. So that's right around this 8,055 and 8,040. Right, so that makes a lot of sense why we could possibly retest back down to these levels. Okay, I'd imagine we would, and if we don't, then it's just a larger view of the sentiment of exactly what's going on in the market. So at the same time, we do have this larger wedge, right? So this larger wedge, I mean, we just got out of it, right? We just got out of it. And if this was truly a very large wedge, right, then I'd imagine that we would be retesting, and then we would be continuing on our ways. If we languish here for some time, I would expect that we would continue to go down. Okay, this is a pretty big wedge not to really have continued bullish sentiments, especially since the fact that look what we just came through. Okay. Look, we just had this bottom right here. We had this huge 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We had our ABC coming down, right? So we really have gone ahead and exhausted a lot of movement, market movement, and sentiment for us not to really start moving up in a bullish fashion. And if we don't, I think we're just going to come down. What else? Let's see. Oh, let's look at also this from a larger Fibonacci basis. Did we do this? I'm not even sure, but I'm gonna do it again real quick. Yeah. So we were talking about the 0.786. No, I think we did look at that. So my mistake. Yeah, let's take a look at, on a daily basis, the resistance we are going to change as far as resistance on a daily basis, I have it right here, is going to be closer to 9,665. Okay? $9,665. Okay, so that's what we're thinking on a daily basis. On a 4-hour basis, I want to look at something real quick here with you guys, and this would be it. So on a 4-hour basis, this is how we're looking, right? So we've had a huge rejection to the upside, right? This candle right here, right? And this, to me, seemed like it came a little too early. It just came a little too early. We've had such a bullish movement up, and then people are immediately taking profits in such a strong fashion where we have a candle like this. It just shows me that people are still extremely skittish and wary of the market, right? I mean, the high of this is 8,461 spot 38. The low is about 8,000. Sorry, I can't see. Low is about 8,130. Okay, that's pretty low. Not only is it low, but we close with a small body, and also the top of that is that the body is very, very small. It's almost a line, right? So this tells me that we ran up and we basically stopped on a dime, as far as a 4-hour basis is concerned, right? People immediately sold and took profit. All right. So let's take a look at it again from a. Now let's look at it from the top, right? I'm going to show this from. How should I show it? Yeah, let's take a look at it like this. Okay, so now I'm looking at it from the opposite direction. Okay, how much, if this, let's say, now I'm flipping things on its head. Let's say we're in a true bear market, right? And the real motive wave is going down, right? So the correction is moving up, right? Flipping everything completely around. This would be considered a retracement. Okay? This would be considered a corrective wave, right? A correction. This is not the correction. This is the correction. So if this is a correction, then really we've corrected to 0.382. Huh. If it's a correction to 0.382, then and we don't move much higher than this, and we correct from here, well, maybe it's not such a bullish market anymore. All right? Not trying to spread FUD. I just want you guys to see both sides of the coin here. All right? So I think we're going to leave it there for right now. My expectation would be is that if this is a bullish market, that we're going to have a correction, small correction. We're going to then see immediately another motive wave up. If we see some extended correction coming from this point, the longer that happens, the more bearish I'm going to be. All right? I'll repeat it again. The more extended of a correction, more sideways, the more complex it becomes, the more bearish I'm going to be, because especially it's a second wave. If this was the fourth wave, I would say, okay, it's the fourth wave. But this is a second wave, and we just came off of a huge ABC. Or did we not? Maybe it's maybe it's the other formations I was talking about, right? So, yeah, let's leave it right there. I don't think there's really nothing else I really need to say, but yeah, let's talk. Let's pick it up this evening. Happy trading, and speak to you guys soon.